Hello. Many of you know me as a spiritual teacher and as a psychic medium, but I am also a regressionist, and I do the method of the quantum field to take you back into your past life, take you back to the memories that you have blocked, or to take you to where you need to heal and release from in a physical manner or otherwise. All of it is always going to help you to find newfound understanding, see things from a new lens, rewrite the story if necessary, unlock the keys to blocked memories to help you to heal and to physically heal your body and change your overall energy. And today I have permission to share with you my cousin Missy's regression. And I'm going to tell you, she is a completely different person since she was regressed 3 days ago. I mean, her energy is lighter, her mood has changed, her overall well being and her energy levels have changed. And we weren't in her regression to heal her, not consciously anyway. We were there to look at her past lives. She wanted to know what past lives she may have experienced. So her higher self took her to 3 different past lives, one of which is off planet. And I'm going to show you throughout her regression different things that I have actually found in research to corroborate her experiences of her memories, to show you just how genuine and real regression truly can be, and that I, as a regression therapist, am not leading the person in any way, and that they are always in control and safe. And spoiler alert, she actually has to get up in the middle of the regression to throw up. The energy was so intense for her. And then after calming her back down, I was able to get her to slide right back into regression mode to look at what that was that truly is the game changer for her. Seeing it and understanding it from a new lens and being honest with herself is what she truly needed to change her whole life. So, with grace and respect, I share with you, and I trust that you view Missy's experience in her regression. We're going to view this from our higher self's position. We're going to see this through a new lens, a new perspective, so that you may see what you hadn't been able to see until now, and heal what you haven't healed until now, and to understand what you weren't able to comprehend until now. We're floating back, back, back into the past, to the most appropriate place to stop and look for a moment. Gently going back. And I will ask you now, are you seeing a place yet that you would like to stop and look closer? All right. Then let's let that cloud float you down closer and closer. And as that cloud floats you down, you are gently coming off of the cloud, floating down, swaying back and forth like a gentle leaf falling from the tree in the breeze. Down, down, down we go, gently to the ground. Take a look around. Can you describe for me what you see around you? Can you tell me where you are?
Not sure. But the fields are like full of yellow.
Okay. Can you see any type of trees or grass or buildings or people?
It's just a field. I don't see. I don't see. I don't see anyone looking around.
Okay. So you're just in this big field alone?
Yes,
And the field is yellow? Are those flowers or a type of weed? What are you seeing that's yellow?
they're flowers.
Beautiful. What type of flowers do you suppose they are? Have you seen them before?
They're tall. They're beautiful. But I've never. I don't know what kind they are.
Okay. And can you look down and see any of your body? Can you see your feet or your legs or your clothes? And describe them to me?
My feet are small. I think I'm a. I think I'm a child.
Okay. Are you barefoot?
Yes,
And can you tell, are you a boy or a girl?
I think I'm a girl.
Okay. What type of clothes are you wearing?
It's it's white. It's like an old dress.
How do you mean old? Like it's tattered?
No, it's
The
like
era?
the air. Yes,
Older era? Okay. So about what time period do you think then? What does this dress remind you of? Can you describe it?
it looks like from early settlers' days.
Okay. So, like around the pioneer days?
Yes, I have a lot. Yes,
Okay. Do you remember your name?
Olivia.
And how old are you, Olivia?
6 or 7.
Where are your parents?
They're at home.
Okay. Is home far from where you are in that beautiful field of flowers?
No,
Okay. Do you come here often?
yeah, I think I'm going to the creek
And what are you going to the creek for?
just to play.
Oh, nice. What do you do when you go to the creek and play?
I skip rocks
Oh, that sounds fun. Are you good at skipping rocks?
sometimes.
Yeah, takes some practice, right?
Yeah, my dad teaches me.
Aw, nice. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Uh,
Okay. Do you go to school?
Not yet.
Okay. But there is a school in your area?
Yes.
Okay. You're just not old enough, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Mama says I can go next year.
Okay. And how does that make you feel? Are you excited?
I am. I want to make friends.
Yeah. Do you have any friends now?
A couple.
Yeah. Do you know what area you live in? Do you know where you're from? What it's called?
It's, I don't remember.
Okay, we'll come back to it. That's all right. And why is it that we're here visiting this lovely place? Because it just makes you happy, or is there something here that Missy needs to know about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I like it here.
Yeah. All right. Let's try to move you ahead in your lifetime there to an older age. Let's think about what you looked like and what you were doing at, say, the age of 20. Can you see that?
I'm married.
Married. Wonderful. How long have you been married?
2 years.
Okay. Do you have children yet?
I have one.
Is this child a
His name is Adam.
Okay, great. What a lovely name. And do you have a religion in your area where you're from?
It's complicated.
Okay, do your best to explain. What type of beliefs do you have?
I think we call it, I think it's Mormon.
Okay. What makes you think it's Mormon?
About
Okay, that's all right. Do you have a job or do you just stay home with the child?
we farm.
Okay. And is there a town nearby?
Yeah,
Okay, how would you get to the town?
horse and buggy, or we walk.
Okay. And what kind of buildings are in the town? Can you see them?
Wooden buildings.
All right. Are they businesses or homes?
In the town, it's businesses. The homes are on the outside of town.
Okay. What type of businesses do you have there?
We have a sawmill, a store, and we have like a place where
It's okay. Take your time.
I'm trying to look around.
That's fine. You look around and see what all you can take in. We're in no rush. We are in no hurry. Take your time. Walk around the town if you need to. Is there a road for the town?
There's like it's where it's been traveled.
Okay, so a dirt path or a beaten path?
Yes,
Okay,
there's a school,
okay,
and we have a church.
okay. What does the church look like?
It's white. And inside it has like 10 benches.
What's on the roof?
It's wooden.
Does it have any identifying features that sets it apart as a church? Okay, as we go through this, I want you to really pay attention to how her voice changes. and like almost goes into character, if you will. And then also how she has this echo sometimes that sounds like Missy's voice and someone else's voice speaking with her in unison. Perspective. We're going to view this time in the past with new eyes.
They're tall. They're beautiful. But I don't know what kind they are.
Okay. And can you look down and see any of your body? Can you see your feet or your legs or your clothes? And describe them to me.
My feet are small. I think I'm a child.
Okay. Are you barefoot?
Yes.
And can you tell, are you a boy or a girl?
I think I'm a girl.
Okay. What type of clothes are you wearing?
It's white. It's like an old dress.
How do you mean old? Like it's tattered?
No, it's
The era?
like the air, yes.
Older era? Okay. So about what time period do you think then? What does this dress remind you of? Can you describe it?
It looks like from early settlers' days.
Okay. So like around the pioneer days?
Yes, I have a lot. Yes,
Okay. Do you remember your name?
Olivia.
And how old are you, Olivia?
Six or seven.
Where are your parents?
They're at home.
Okay. Is home far from where you are in that beautiful field of flowers?
No,
Okay. Do you come here often?
yeah, I think I'm going to the creek.
What are you going to the creek for?
Just to play.
Oh, nice. What do you do when you go to the creek and play?
I skip rocks
Oh, that sounds fun. Are you good at skipping rocks?
sometimes.
Yeah, takes some practice, right?
Yeah, my dad teaches me.
Aw, nice. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
No,
Okay. Do you go to school?
not yet.
Okay. But there is a school in your area?
Yes.
Okay. You're just not old enough, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Mama says I can go next year.
Okay. And how does that make you feel? Are you excited?
I am. I want to make friends.
Yeah. Do you have any friends now?
A couple.
Yeah. Do you know what area you live in? Do you know where you're from? What it's called?
It's, I don't remember.
Okay, we'll come back to it. That's all right. And why is it that we're here visiting this lovely place? Because it just makes you happy, or is there something here that Missy needs to know about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I like it here.
Yeah. All right. Let's try to move you ahead in your lifetime. And before we move her ahead in her lifetime, let me just add that in this era of 1847, which is where I think she was because she was Mormon, there was something called the Mormon Trail where they went from being in like Ohio and Illinois and Michigan over to Colorado down to Utah, and they settled there. And in those days, the Mormon women would use very plain white flour sacks versus people that you may be more familiar with, mainly starting, I think I remember reading around the 1920s, the women started using feed sacks to make dresses. My mother grew up in the very early 30s, and her mother would make feed sack dresses for all of them. And they are very floral patterned, they're very bright and colorful. Whereas the Mormons chose to, um, how was it worded? I want to get it right. Chose to replicate the Gentile fashion of that time to maintain a sense of normalcy. So they would use the bland off white or white colored fabrics, and they would make the dresses for the girls and the women, as well as all of the undergarments out of these flour sack um, fabrics. So I believe that this puts her probably in um, the era of 1847, but hard to tell which state she was really in. So she could have been around before the Mormon Trail mass exodus, which was, by the way, of about 70,000 people. But because of what she says later in her life, I think it was probably after 1847. And you'll see why. I'm there to an older age. Let's think about what you looked like and what you were doing at, say, the age of 20. Can you see that?
I'm married.
Married. Wonderful. How long have you been married?
2 years.
Okay. Do you have children yet?
I have one.
Who's this child?
His name is Adam.
Okay, great. What a lovely name. And do you know do you have a religion in your area where you're from?
It's complicated.
Okay, do your best to explain. What type of beliefs do you have?
I think we call it, I think it's Mormon.
Okay. What makes you think it's Mormon?
I got
Okay, that's all right. Do you have a job or do you just stay home with the child?
we farm.
Okay. And is there a town nearby?
Yeah,
Okay, how would you get to the town?
horse and buggy, where we walk.
Okay. And what kind of buildings are in the town? Can you see them?
Wooden buildings.
All right. Are they businesses or homes?
In the town, it's businesses. The homes are on the outside of town.
Okay. What type of businesses do you have there?
We have a sawmill, a store, and we have like a place where
It's okay. Take your time.
we're trying to look around.
That's fine. You look around and see what all you can take in. We're in no rush. We are in no hurry. Take your time. Walk around the town if you need to. Is there a road for the town?
There's it's where it's been traveled.
Okay, so a dirt path or a beaten path?
Yes,
Okay.
there's a school,
Okay.
and we have a church.
Okay. What does the church look like?
It's white. And inside it has like 10 benches.
What's on the roof?
It's wooden.
Does it have any identifying features that sets it apart as a church?
It has a steeple on top.
Okay. Anything else?
Not, no.
Okay. All right. Now I want us to move ahead in this lifetime to the end of your life. Okay, so right here, I want to add that I looked up, did early Mormon pioneers create small towns along their path between Illinois to Utah on their Mormon trail? And the answer is yes. Early Mormons created numerous, mainly temporary settlements and way stations along the Mormon Trail between 1846 and 1869 to facilitate the migration to Utah. Key semi-permanent settlements included winter quarters in Omaha, Nebraska, Haynesville's Council Bluff, Iowa, and Mount Pixaw, and it doesn't say where that is, which served as vital resting, supply, and wintering points for thousands of pioneers. Key aspects of these settlements included the purpose. Unlike other westward trails, Mormon leaders established these locations to support subsequent waves of immigrants, with many sites serving as staging grounds for the next season's journey. At winter quarters, between 1846 and 48, located near present-day Omaha, Nebraska, was the most significant settlement, where over 3,000 people lived in log cabins and sod houses during the winter of 1846 and 1847. Iowa, I think, is where she was at. Grove and Mount Pisgah, okay, that's Iowa, were established in Iowa as rest stops and farming communities to supply travelers. She said they were farmers. So I think her parents were there farming before moving on the trail. And as well, I wanted to know what area on the early of the early Mormon pioneers had tall yellow flowers, or was there any? And it says early Mormon pioneers and travelers, particularly in the Nebraska region, along the Platte River, traversed areas filled with tall yellow flowers, often identified in legends and journals as wild sunflowers. This is sometimes referred to as the Sunflower Trail in their journals. A key area, hold on, let me find it. Yes, a key area. Okay, so Nebraska also had a whole crap ton of the flowers, the sunflowers, but so did Iowa. Something I just saw somewhere said that the Iowa had the flowers too. Anyway, so Nebraska or Iowa is where she was. These sunflowers were so abundant in the mid 19th century that they became a significant marker in pioneer diaries and later regional folklore. While the ultimate destination was the Salt Lake Valley, the Sunflower Trail was described in many prairie journey journals. Pretty cool. Okay, and then I'll share the next part after you listen to this. I want you to look at the memories of the last part of this lifetime as Olivia. See your surroundings. Feel for your health and your age. And when you're ready, describe to me how old you are, or how healthy you are, or why you died, what it looked like for the funeral, any of those type of things that come to you, okay? And real quick, I just want to add that I also looked up what the churches would have looked like in these makeshift towns, and they would have been made of wood completely, even the roof, with a simple spire or steeple on top of it to identify it as the church. Pretty cool stuff.
I'm in my 47th, I think.
Early 40s? Late 40s?
In the mid-40s.
Okay. And why are you dying?
I have some type of fever.
Okay. And what kind of a setting are you in?
I'm in my house.
Is there anyone there with you?
My husband and my kids.
Okay. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 now.
Okay.
I have Adam, Libby, and John.
Those are lovely names. And are they consoling you and taking care of you?
Yes, they're here.
And is everyone accepting your fate, or is this a dramatically emotional moment? What does the environment feel like to you?
We knew it was coming.
Okay. So you've all said your goodbyes?
Yes, we're good. Jeremiah's taking it hard, but he'll be okay.
Who is Jeremiah?
He's my husband.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing your story and your journey with us, Olivia. Now, I would like for Missy to come back to present for a moment and get back on the cloud. Now, this was the sad part, because unfortunately, on the Mormon Trail, which I am convinced is what she was experiencing in this lifetime, the mass exodus of 70,000 people moving from Illinois over to Utah in increments or in waves. They did indeed not only have a hazardous journey, but were plagued by something they called mountain fever, or just simply the fever, that took more lives from the Mormon group than the total of the rest of the United States population at that time. Now, the majority of their participants did survive this journey, but it didn't have an age. This fever would take everyone from the infants to the older people. Most of the disease was caused by cholera or dysentery, rather than any type of a violent conflict. And infants and young children were actually the most susceptible, though it does say that the Mormon pioneer infants still had a higher survival rate than that of the general U.S. population in 1850. So even though their mortality rate was higher than that of the national average, the infant mortality rate was actually lower. And they estimate approximately 1,900 people total died out of the 70,000 travelers. And unfortunately, Olivia was one of them. But again, very cool how we can find evidence of our past to prove that what we remember in regression actually did happen. And it helps us to connect some dots along the way, which you will see very soon for Missy. And let's take another journey on our magic carpet cloud ride. Get settled up on there and get comfortable. And we are going to go back to a time where Missy needs to learn something or heal something or clear something or further understand from her past lives, wherever we can best go for Missy to learn from. So we're going to float back and back and back. The magic carpet cloud ride is like a time capsule that takes us back to the next memory that you need to see the most.
I don't want to go there.
What does it look like there?
It's a sad time for me.
All right, well, let's just take a little peek, and if it feels too uncomfortable, we will move on, okay? What is it about this time that is so sad? Remember that you are safe with me. We are simply viewing from a third-person perspective. What do you see? From safely sitting on the cloud and looking down, what is there?
There's a lot of destruction.
Explain that to me.
The middle of a war.
Oh my goodness. Do you know whose war it is? What do you call this war? Who do you war with? Can you see the enemy? We are safely on the cloud. Let's go take a peek at what the enemy looks like and see if you can describe them and their environment.
There's soldiers. They're in like a green colored, brown colored uniform.
Okay. So these are soldiers. Are they?
They're not American. They have an accent.
Okay. Are you an American?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time.
What's that mean?
I wasn't supposed to be here.
Why not?
I'm like, I took someone's place.
You took someone's place?
Yes.
So are you a soldier here?
No.
Okay, what did you take their place doing?
I was supposed. I wasn't supposed to be here.
Okay, why are you there?
I took someone's place. They couldn't go, and I volunteered to go and help out. It's some type of humanitarian thing where we're helping people that are hurt, not in their homes. We got caught in the middle of it.
Okay, are you a female or a male?
I'm a male.
Okay. So I want to just stop it right there to say that I looked this up to see if I could find out what point in time she was remembering back to. And I believe she was remembering to right before or right at the end of World War II. In 1943, we began sending people to Germany to do large-scale reconstruction or building, most of which was not to occur until after the war, though Allied engineers and logistics teams were crucial to send in first and restore infrastructure such as immediate housing, railways, and electricity prior to the very end of World War II. And so it says that there were engineering troops and advanced builders who were sent in beginning in 1944, September of 1944. And then the major advances came in March of 1945. And that's probably what she means about she wasn't supposed to be there yet, because she was supposed to be part of the crew that goes in after the war is totally done, not to see the things that she witnessed there as Michael. And the uniforms that she described matches both the German and the British troops of the World War II era. And then later, it became a very common color in the camo patterns for them. But this was not a camo pattern. This was just clearly a a brown and a green uniform that the two of them wore. So all of that matches up with being around 1944, 1945, and she was in Germany. Bizarre. So do you have some type of a special skill?
Yes, we help people have housing and just trying to make it better for them.
Okay. So do you build the housing or do you provide housing?
We build like temporary shelters.
And these shelters are for the soldiers?
No, the people from where the soldiers came through and destroyed their property, their
Oh, I see.
families. There's
So you help the refugees of war.
yes, I guess you could say that.
Hmm. Do you know what type of war this is? Is this a world war, or is this like the Revolutionary War? What kind of a war is this?
It's not a revolutionary war or an old war. There's tanks. There's tanks and guns and
Okay. And are you in America or another country?
another country.
What does this country look like that you're in? The surroundings that you're standing in right now. What does that look like?
There's buildings that are down, bridges, there's bodies. It's terrible.
Okay.
So many people.
And did you get to leave this place and go back home to America?
Yes. But it stayed with me.
And of course, at the time, I did not understand that we were talking about World War II, and she was in Germany. So a lot of the casualties that she was looking at was probably the poor Jewish people at Auschwitz or something like that, because there was definitely much more death that happened at these camps than there was, on the ground around them. And so I can't help but to wonder if she witnessed the death toll of the Holocaust in person. Very profound. Very. Okay, so let's come back to the States and tell me what you did in your lifetime after the war. Can you see yourself?
Yeah, I'm a builder.
Okay. And what's your name?
Michael.
Okay, Michael. What else can you tell me about the surroundings?
We have buildings and there's farms, cars.
What do the cars look like?
They're big and clunky.
Do you have a car?
Yes.
What kind of car do you have?
It's just a little low car. It's black. It only seats like 2 people.
Okay.
I can't see what kind it is.
That's okay. And why are we looking at this lifetime? What was it that Missy needed to see about this lifetime to understand herself better? I again just want to pause right there to say that even though we are all very familiar with the 40s to 50s style cars that are big and clunky, the two-seater cars of the 45 to 50 era are the MGTC Midget, which is a small four-cylinder, four-speed, open-top British sports car. Then there was the Jaguar, likely not either one of those. Then there's the Crosley convertible, which was an American-made tiny economy car designed for affordability, fuel efficiency, transportation that seated two. There was an Allard K1P type, specialized two-door, two-seater car that often featured a powerful V8 engine. And then there was a French economy car as well, but again, likely not hers because we're talking, early 50s or late 40s era. So it was probably either the Crosley convertible or an Allard K1P type of car, which probably would explain why she either couldn't say the name of it or wouldn't say the name of it because they weren't anything real flashy. So again, cool stuff that all kind of fits and connects, right?
She still holds that memory. That fear.
The fear of war.
Yes.
Okay. And what message do you have to tell her about holding on to that memory and that fear?
She needs to let it go. That it's just a part of learning and growing. And then it doesn't have to be. That people can change. People can change things if they want to.
Okay, and what does that mean for her? That people can change if they want to. Is she fearful of people and their behavior?
She just needs to learn that sometimes people don't always agree, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's wrong. And it's not a reflection. It's not a reflection of her when things happen. It just happens. It's part of growing.
Okay. So is she needing to heal from the fear of a war or a conflict?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do that for her now. Let's heal the energy of all of that sadness and all of that fear trauma of that lifetime Let's heal it and peel it all away and let it float down the river. Let it recycle into the earth because it no longer serves your higher good or Missy's. Let's allow that to be shed from her present life so that she doesn't have to be in fear of war or conflict. Let's allow that trigger to just fall away so that Missy will know that she is safe, perfectly safe, even if people disagree. We don't have to worry about the other shoe dropping. We don't have to worry about a small disagreement turning into a full-on war. Regardless of the situation, regardless of the circumstance, so that she can be safe and free of this past life trauma. And I want to thank you, Michael, for stepping forward and sharing with Missy and I a glimpse of this life. And know that you did really beautiful, wonderful things with your life in service to others. And what matters is how you treated people and who you were. The people in the war do not matter. The greatest lesson to learn here is how you dealt with your situation and how you moved through it. And you moved through with dignity and grace, morals and high honor. And you should be so proud of yourself. We thank you. And now I will ask Missy to once again come back and sit on a nice big fluffy white cloud as we travel further into time, further back into other dimensions, all the way back and back and back, as far back as you can go. I just want to add right here that at the very end of this, you're going to make more sense of what the message that Michael needed to share with Missy was truly all about. And it is something that was still deeply affecting her in this lifetime. And I want you to look for that place in your life where you were not from this planet, but from another. Find that planet in the stars and allow that cloud now to take you all the way over to that planet and to drift down into their atmosphere and float all the way down to the ground, floating like a leaf drifting in the wind, gently gliding from the tree. We are floating down, down, down. And tell me when you're ready, what color is the sky?
Just purple haze or a light purple.
Beautiful. You say it's a haze. Is it sort of foggy?
No, it's just the color.
Okay.
It's a light purple, almost iridescent.
Fantastic. Does this place have a name? What do you call your place? And it's okay if it doesn't fit with names that we know here on Earth today. It doesn't have to make any kind of sense for things that you presently know. But what do you remember calling this place that was once your home?
Solaris.
Okay. And is that the name of the planet or your location on the planet?
It's a planet.
Okay. How many suns do you have in the sky?
3.
3 suns. And again, I just want to interject right here to say that when I was searching for a planet or area called Solaris, I did find the mention of Solaris in a few sci-fi novels and in a game, but then I also found that Solaris is a solar system that is in the Pegasus galaxy, which is where the Arcturians come from. And when she describes herself, it fits the Arcturian description. Suns. What color are your suns?
They're like an orange color.
All of them?
Different shades of orange. There's like a real bright one. And then as they go out a little further, they kind of fade in color to like a pale orange, peach color.
Are they all about the same size or are they various sizes?
I'm not sure. The ones further away look smaller, but
Okay, that's all right. Can you see the ground beneath your feet?
yes,
What do you see?
grass.
Okay. Does this grass look like earth grass?
Not exactly.
Describe it for me.
It's more finer, almost like moss, but it's not moss.
Hmm.
You have rivers, trees.
And does it look similar to earth?
It does. The colors are different.
Describe them.
The colors are more dull. The trees are like a yellow. They're yellow looking. They're trees, but they don't look like trees necessarily. They're not like our trees.
Okay. So I want to ask you to remember what these trees look like so that later, when we are done here, you can draw one. So put that in your mind's eye as a snapshot or a photograph so that you will be able to draw it later and give a representation. Okay.
Okay.
Now, can you see your body? What does your body? Okay, and before we go on, I want to show you her tree that she drew. That is a picture of her tree that she did draw later. And she's no artist, and she insisted she was not going to be able to draw anything. And she did. And she also drew an alien being that she sees on the planet that's coming up next. Her body look like?
I look human.
Okay. And can you see your feet?
Yes, I have feet, but they're really short feet.
Okay. Are you a child?
No.
Just a small stature?
Yes.
Okay. What about the rest of your body? Can you describe your legs? Are they skinny or thick, long or short?
They're short. I'm short.
Okay. So are you short like a hobbit? Short like a fairy? Short like a troll? How short are you?
I would say maybe 4 feet.
Okay. And are you a male or a female?
I'm actually both.
You're both. Okay.
My hand hurts.
Huh?
My hand hurts.
Why does your hand hurt? Are you injured? What happened to cause this?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Can you look at it? Does it look okay?
It looks okay. It just hurts.
Okay. And what do your surroundings look like? Are there any objects or physical characteristics you can describe or other people around?
No, there's lots of people
Are they
coming
all
and
short?
going.
Are they all short like you?
No, they're different sizes, different kinds of people.
What's that mean?
They don't all look like me.
So they don't all look human?
No,
Okay. And what do some of these not human looking people look like? Can you describe any of them?
they're like they're opaque in color, but their skin is shiny. They have little heads and like little short arms. Like not like a normal arm. It's more like the length of it is more like it's like a human's elbow. They're just really short.
Okay. And they walk upright on two legs like you?
Yes.
Okay. And do they wear clothing?
No.
And are they both genders also?
You can't tell.
Okay. Do they have hair?
No. They're shiny all over.
All right. So I want to ask you once again to take another mental snapshot so that later on you can draw the face of what one of these type of beings looks like. Okay, take that mental snapshot like you have a camera in your mind. Can you see any other beings? What do they look like?
They're like human. Look like humans, say. But they have their ears are different.
How so?
They have like kind of like a webbing. They don't come out of their head very far.
Okay. So is this similar to like a fish gill maybe? Or
No.
okay.
It almost looks like it was supposed to be an ear, but it wasn't an ear. They're just really close to their head.
Okay. And do they have normal size heads like humans?
Yes.
Okay. So anything other than their ears sticks out as a different type of characteristic from us?
Their eyes are big.
Can you describe them?
They're round. They're not almond-shaped eyes. They're like almost round.
Okay. But bigger than ours?
Yes, and they're white.
Their eyes are white?
Yes.
They don't have colored eyes like we do?
No.
Okay. So are their pupils also white or just the iris?
It's all white.
Okay. And are they good or bad?
They're good. All the people here are good.
Okay. What is your name in this lifetime? So before she shares her very strange name that definitely reminded me of the new Steven Spielberg Disclosure movie that's coming out, let me just share with you that Arcturians are depicted as highly evolved, benevolent, wise, and spiritually advanced beings, of course, originating in the star Arcturus, but also are travelers. They are often described as humanoid and exist in higher dimensions using advanced technology and telepathy for healing and spiritual growth. Though they do have mammalian like traits, which means they're physically human looking. Okay. They are seen as benevolent beings that help humanity ascend spiritually, often associated with the healing and higher dimensions. They are an advanced civilization, considered one of the most advanced races beyond three-dimensional awareness and with deep wisdom. Their connection to Earth is believed by many to be a connection with Jesus Christ, that he was actually an Arcturian who incarnated here on Earth. Often they are depicted as humanoid, sometimes with specific features like braided hair or gender fluidity, which means both genders. Um, they also have traits of sonar communication in some different canons that speak of them. They are portrayed as advanced beings with advanced technology, peaceful societies, collective decision making, and a void of money, an absence of money. They are known as interstellar explorers and cartographers. They have a strong emphasis on love, spirituality, and sharing knowledge. They often exist or operate on higher vibrational levels, guiding others toward enlightenment. Essentially, Arcturians are generally understood as spiritually enlightened extraterrestrials offering guidance through their specific forms and roles um, that vary between spiritual teachings and fictional universes. Now, for her name.
It's hard to pronounce.
Okay. Well, if you feel ready, you can try to pronounce it and do your best, or try to spell it, or give me some type of an example of what it sounds like and how to call you.
It's got you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. And what do you do on this planet called Solaris? Do you have a job or a responsibility?
We just maintain the planet. We just do what we have to do. We don't necessarily work.
Okay. Sounds like a nice life. Did you enjoy this lifetime?
I did.
Wonderful. And did you have a partner or a family? How did you live? What was your way of life?
We live in a community, a communion, where we all do our specific things. Like some of us hunt, some of us fish, some of us take care of the children. Just all the different things to make the community work. We have our own little things that we do.
Okay. And what is your specialty here?
I hunt.
Hey. And when you're out hunting, what do you use to hunt with? What type of tools or weapon?
We have like a it's a gun.
Okay.
It like shoots electricity.
All right. And what are you hunting for out there?
It's kind of like what mother like birds.
Okay.
But they're big birds. That's all I can say. I don't know. I don't even know what they are.
Okay. And do you have so fun fact, and I don't know if this actually fits here or not, but I tried to find some type of information on electrical guns, and I found something called the Tesla gun. And Tesla got all of his information from channeling the ether, channeling the knowledge in the ether. But it's a handheld, battery operated gun that projects electrical arcs or lightning and is used as a tool to temporarily incapacitate and override muscle triggering mechanisms, offering a non lethal option for use, which I just strongly feel like fits. Do you have any friends or a hunting party?
Sometimes we go out together.
Okay. Most of the time you're just solo?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have a mate or a partner?
No.
Okay. No children?
No.
And what is it that Missy should know about this lifetime? What would you call your species of human?
Some people call us octrons.
Okay. And fun little fact here, when I was looking up the Arcturian stuff, I actually discovered that some people call them arctrons. And I think that may have been what she was saying was arctron, though at the time of the session, I thought she said octron, which is a science fictional character in a book or something that I found. But in looking at the Arcturian stuff, they are also called Arctron, and some other word, Arcturian or something like that. So they're known by a few different names, not just Arcturian. Oh, I can't say that word today. Okay. And are you before human civilization on Earth? What type of time period are you in?
We don't travel to Earth.
Okay. But do you know of other life on other planets?
Yeah, there's different planets. We pretty much stay on our own planet.
Okay. But there's other life in the planets in your solar system, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know about anything outside of your solar system? Are you taught that there?
No, not really. Just sometimes sometimes we see ships go by, but we're not allowed to ask questions.
Oh, okay. And when you say ships, you mean like what we would call a UFO? A spaceship?
Or spaceship.
Okay. So who are in the spaceships? Do you know?
No.
Okay. And do you have a ruler, like a king or a leader of some type?
We do.
Tell me how that works.
She's a very good ruler. We don't really want for anything. And the reason she won't let us leave the planet is she's trying to keep us all safe.
Okay. Do you know what this fear of danger is about? What is she keeping you safe from? Do you know?
She doesn't want people to. She doesn't want the influence from the other planets to interfere with our way of life.
So that you can stay peaceful?
Yes.
I see. Okay. And you say your ruler is a female. Is she also human looking?
Yes.
Okay. Does she have a name? What do you call her?
Her name is Michua.
And what is it about this lifetime that Missy needs to know about and learn from?
She needs to know that there are she needs to really know that there are really people, other civilizations and entities, and there's more than just humans on this earth and in the system, the solar system. That is, she doubts that sometimes.
And do you doubt that in this lifetime?
No.
So you believe that there is life in other solar systems, even though you're not taught about it?
Yes.
So this is your way of helping her to not feel fearful of the knowledge and the existence of others?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm sure she will appreciate this. It's very comforting. And is there anything else that you think that Missy should know before we say goodbye to you?
I would like to tell her that she needs to just go with what's in her heart. She knows what she needs to do, and she just needs to follow through.
Great. Thank you. That's very good. Now, I'm not 100% sure what all that means for her, but partially what that means for her is that she needs to trust what she knows in her heart, that other life out there exists, and not to listen to people telling her that that's crazy or that's silly or that's nonsense, and certainly not to be fearful of it, because there's a bit of that for her as well. The notion that there are other life beings that come here and visit us is a little bit daunting for her at times. So I feel like that was a very strong message in this too. And to trust what's in her heart, not what's in her head or what other people put in her head to think about aliens. Um, But it might go a little further than that too, since there seems to be a common theme here through these different 3 past lifetimes now of telling her to not live in fear and to know what's in her heart rather than in her head, which you will see in this last segment coming up. I want to also add to this that I looked up the name Michiwa to see if this is a real word or name, and it actually is a Tibetan name that means she who is a blooming flower or she who is sent from heaven, which gives me chills because Tibetans are very peaceful, and that's a very appropriate name for a leader that wants to prevent outer influence and allow everyone to just remain safe and peaceful. So let's listen to the last segment of this. And please, if you're still with me this long, I do greatly appreciate you. Please hit that like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. And in this very last segment, I ask for you to have your utmost respect and appreciation for the very hard and therapeutic healing that Missy underwent with this. And parts of this was quite tragic for her. And so we did have to pause the recording and allow her to have a moment. But she was a trooper, and she came right back to settle down and to finish looking at this, regardless of how frightening it felt for her, because she knew that she needed to face it. So I want to give her kudos and props for being brave and determined to face this great fear of hers and this great burden that she had been carrying with her for many years now on her own. That's really great advice. We thank you very much for allowing us a glimpse at this life, this very peaceful, wonderful way of life. We appreciate that very much. And I will ask Missy to now climb back up on that fluffy, white, billowy cloud. And let's raise back up out of that atmosphere, all the way back up into space, where we are in the blackness of the stars. And now, be the leader that takes this cloud on our next journey, where we can go to learn for Missy's highest good, of her mental clarity, her intellect, her healing, her love. Let's float that cloud to the point that Missy needs to see the most. And when we are there, let that cloud float gently down, just like a leaf drifting from a tree. And as you step off of that cloud and you're ready, describe to me what you see around you.
I can't do this.
You can't do what?
I don't want to be here.
Okay, then this is not where you need to be for your highest good. Let's continue to move. Continue to let that cloud take us anywhere else that we need to go to show Missy anything else that she needs to see, anything she may need to rewrite in history, anything she could use as a benefit in this lifetime to heal and find her highest good, highest health, and highest joy. We are seeking a place where we can find mental clarity, physical clarity, spiritual clarity, a place where the higher self is rewriting the story of this now moment for Missy so that she can move forward toward her path of her highest good, highest health, and highest clarity. And when you are finding that spot, allow that cloud to drift you gently down like a leaf flowing softly from a tree, down into this comfortable, safe place that will help Missy in her current life to reach her higher self, her highest good, her highest health, her highest mental clarity, and further her understanding of who she is. When you are ready, describe what you see around you.
Bright, really bright.
Everything around you is bright?
Yes,
Where are you?
I'm not sure.
Can you see any structures?
No, all I see is a really bright. It's just really bright.
Okay. Can you hear any sounds?
No, it's real quiet.
Okay. Can you smell or sense anything at all?
I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Okay, just breathe through it. Nice, slow, deep breaths. You're perfectly safe.
I'm going to throw up.
So that was actually the part that I paused the video, paused the recording, gave her time to actually throw up and then get herself settled down and situated and make sure she wanted to pursue this further. When you're ready, lay back down and try to get back into a relaxed state and just focus on your breath. Some nice slow breaths. It's okay. It's just a memory. It can't harm you. Focus on the breath. Nice deep breaths. You're safe. You're perfectly safe. Continue to focus on your breath. Calm your heart rate.
I'll be crying soon.
It's okay. All right. Take your time. We're in no hurry. Why do you think you needed to throw up? Was it the overwhelming emotion, or did something scare you? What happened?
Nothing scary. I just went back to a memory that I don't want to relive.
In a bright light?
Yeah, it was a hospital.
Oh, okay. Huh. Well, that's strange that we would end up at a hospital with a bright light if this is not something that you want to look at, because we're supposed to be going to somewhere that helps you to learn better clarity. So there must be something there that you need to better understand. So just remind yourself that we are looking at this from a third person perspective. You are perfectly safe. Nothing can hurt you. Nothing can frighten you there. And we can rewrite what you see there if it's necessary. Were you on a hospital table? Why did you see bright light?
It was my husband. He was there.
I see. So, a little backstory for everyone who doesn't understand. Missy is a widow of 15 years now. And the way that her husband passed was, I'll say, exacerbated by surrounding circumstances that made the loss of a loved one even more incredibly painful and traumatizing for her to have to find a way to cope with and deal with. And if you would like to further understand that, I will attach her story of how she realized that I'm a psychic medium at the end of this video, so that you can watch her story about how her husband came to me to have me give her a message about this very day, this day that she's remembering. Okay. Huh. Well, that's strange that we would relax and allow your higher self to come in. And as your higher self comes in, I want to ask Missy's higher self to allow her to find peace, to allow her to find healing, and to allow her to find relief. Allow her the permission to let go of any traumas from this time that she was seeing, or from any traumas that are now present in her body, her mind, or her soul. I would like to now ask permission to speak directly to Missy's higher self. May I be permitted to speak directly to your higher self and ask questions on your behalf?
Yes.
Thank you. I want you to know that I have complete respect for your higher self's soul, and I thank you very much for coming through and allowing me to work with you to help Missy to heal. Now, may I ask, what is it that Missy needs to further understand about that scene with her husband at the hospital? What unwanted trauma is still in her that needs to be released? What advice can you give to her to help her to fully heal from this, to no longer carry with her, to completely remove the burden of, so that she may continue the rest of this life's journey in balance, harmony, health, and joy?
She needs to understand that she did not cause that. She is not to blame. And she needs to learn to forgive. She says she has, but she hasn't. She still carries that with her.
Yes, and it's understandable that she does, isn't it?
It is. So she needs to learn to come to peace with it.
And how might you offer her the ability to make peace with it? You know her best. You know where she needs to release the most.
She just needs to let it go.
Why is she having trouble letting it go?
Because she feels that if she lets it go, that she lets him go.
And is that true?
No.
Let's explain that to her further. Enlighten her.
She needs to just be at peace. She needs to understand that all things happen to let you grow and be a better person. Learn so you can help other people. But for Missy, she has a hard time doing that, and she just needs to let it out. She just needs to let it out. She's not done that yet.
And how will she be able to help other people?
She can show them, by example, that you can get through anything. The hardest things that you would think you would never get through, you can, and you can be a stronger person for it.
Yes. And she is amazingly strong.
She doesn't think so.
I know. Hopefully we can change her mind today. And what else can you tell her about herself that will help her to know just how wonderful and strong she is?
She's overcame a lot of obstacles in her life. Some that where people said that she wouldn't, but she did. She needs to remember that.
Remember how strong she is
Yes.
and resilient and kind and forgiving. Is that what she protects the most? Because of these things that she's been through?
Yes.
And if she's able to heal this, then she can feel safe to show her kindness and her beautiful light and how wonderful it is to be forgiving.
Yes, she will. She's come a long way from where she once was.
Indeed.
She no longer holds resentment, but she's still not fully accepted of it.
Yes, holding on to resentment only makes us feel ugly, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I about choked on my thing. And what else can you tell her about how wonderful she is? Things that would help her to feel more confident, more safe to be open.
She has a lot to bring to the table. She's very strong, and she knows a lot, and for the most part, she's very confident in herself.
Yeah.
She has a very good heart. She's always looking out for everyone else.
Yes.
And she needs to look out for herself as well. That will
Yes.
help her.
And what can you tell her about being overburdened with the worry that she puts upon herself?
She needs to learn to go with the flow. That not everything has to be detrimental. It's just a day. It's just a thing. It'll come and it'll go. She just needs to have the
And do you feel that all of the past lives that your soul has experienced, all of the fears and the traumas and the worries, are what make her feel this worry and this fear and this extra burden that's unnecessary?
I do, because she feels like stuff is always happening to her. And she always tries to do the right thing. And then she second guesses herself. And she takes everything on. She just needs to learn to live life again like she once did.
Right. And trust that it all works out as it's supposed to.
Yes.
Yeah.
She needs to be more confident in that.
Yeah. And can you help me now? Just to understand a little bit of this message that may seem cryptic to the viewer. Missy had caught her husband having an affair with a girlfriend that he had had prior to them getting together. They were trying to make things work. She was trying to be forgiving, trying to be open. And then the day that he had his massive heart attack, the phone call that she received was actually from that other woman to tell her that her husband was in the hospital. And on the way to the hospital, she did what any other person that is hurt and scorned may do. She had one fleeting, terrible thought. And when she got to the hospital, she learned that that one terrible thought was now her reality. She threw up in 5-gallon buckets at the hospital, not just because she was grieving, but because she was overwhelmed with feeling some level of guilt, like she did this. And she didn't. She absolutely did not. Because she didn't really mean that. And then the burden she carried was not only to keep that horrible thought a secret, but also to keep her husband's horrible affair a secret. Because it embarrassed her and it would shame him and his family. And she didn't want that for any of them. So she sucked it up. The mourning widow. The perfect life. And she's carried that with her all these years. And so she's right in showing someone, anyone, if it's only one other person that needs to hear her message. She's resilient. She's strong. She has went through something that literally was her worst nightmare, her biggest fear come true. As it could be for a lot of people. I'm sure it's relatable. And she pushed through, and she put on a fake smile. She's never really fully lived before. Until now. The transformation in her since this regression, in the last 3 days, is the most beautiful, incredible, life-changing transformation I have been privileged to witness. That is the power of regression. That is the power of being honest with yourself, finally. And that is the power of true healing and transmuting that energy into something that's beautiful and good for you. Because she deserves this so much. She deserves to live a happy, full life, as we all do. And I am immensely grateful that she agreed to allow me to regress her. And she was convinced that it wouldn't even work. And look at her now. It worked. And it worked so well that it was life-changing. And it can be life-changing for you too. I offer regression at a fraction of the price of everyone else because I'm not in it to get rich. I am truthfully in it to get you healed. To relieve the burdens of these traumas and these fears and these worries from all of these past lives so that she can walk through this life with a lighter heart, not always waiting for the other shoe to drop, but to just trust.
Yes.
Help her to release all of that at this time and to be more open to listening to that inner voice and that guidance from you and source, that knowing that she is safe.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Is there anything else that you would like to say that would help her to integrate these other lives and balance them out with harmony and health and joy?
Just be who you're meant to be confident, and know that these things that happened before in your past life was there for a purpose, and it wasn't to punish you. It was to help you grow to be the person that you're meant to be. And when you realize it and you put all the pieces together, you'll be unstoppable.
Absolutely. That's really great advice. Thank you. Now, could you please scan Missy's body for me, including her mind and her chakras, and tell me if you see anything that you should bring to our attention to help Missy to clear chakras or to heal anything else within the mind or the body.
She's there, just like she's there. She just needs to do a little more work.
Okay. And is there anything in her health that we need to bring attention to? Or does she look okay to you?
She's healthy. She just needs to be mindful. She needs just to pay attention to her body and be mindful of. Just be mindful. But as for now, she's healthy.
Okay. So may I ask, are any health conditions that she may have related to the heart chakra needing cleared still?
She has a lot of anxiety.
And is clearing the heart chakra going to help her anxiety? How can we better help her with that?
Just need to focus. She needs to learn to relax and meditate more. Just to relieve some of that anxiety. She just gets overwhelmed.
Okay. At this time, I would like to ask you to please help me to kindly bring in healing light energies and bathe Missy in them to help her healing process, help her to clear her heart chakra, help her to heal this anxiety and this fear and this feeling of doom and gloom that looms over her. Help me now to bring that light energy in and spread it from head to toe, side to side, all the way around and all the way through to heal her, energize her, balance her, and give her love, strength, confidence, and acceptance. I want to thank you at this time for being with us and for all of your assistance and your guidance. We appreciate your presence and your wisdom. I am now going to begin the process of integrating you and Missy once again. And calm and safe and relaxed. On one, the old story of pain and fear is permanently replaced in your mind and your heart. On two, fear and free of pain. And on four, we have fully back into the body. I am asking you to fully come and settle back within yourself. And remember that the pyramid of pure white light is always around you. It will continue to protect you still as you move forward on your new hope and your new path with your current life. And I thank you very much for your bravery and your trust in me to take this journey. How do you feel?
I'm good.
This was truly the hardest thing that she has done since the day that she had to say goodbye to her husband. I want to commend her for her bravery and her strength and her honesty with herself and trusting me to help her through this. Because truly the burden was of holding on to a secret that wasn't hers to keep, to protect the identity and the opinion that people could place on her husband, and a burden of guilt that somehow she caused this with her fleeting bad thought. I truly love the way that regression helps people to see things that we absolutely refuse to see otherwise. She is only one of many cases that I have personally regressed and helped people to heal. The depth and the magnitude of the things that we hold within us and refuse to see, or refuse to be honest about, or refuse to face, are the very things that cause us to be sad, scared, depressed, ill, or otherwise unhappy in our life. It allows us to stay in that loop, suffering, spiraling. Some things doctors just can't fix. And some things we can't fix on our own. I'm here for you. You are safe with me. Let's heal you together. There are no limits here. No worry. On earth.